Chopping it up with G and Z. Chopping it up. 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 Chopping it up with G and Z.
Hello. Welcome to Chopping It Up with G and Z. I am G. This is my boy, my ace Z. How's it going, brother?
Bro, what up with it? So chilling, man. Man, good. Ready to get into it. How everything with you?
Man, I can't complain, man. I could, but it wouldn't solve anything. So I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Most people wouldn't care. I said it all the time, but I would complain, but y'all wouldn't care no way. So
Yeah. We'll just listen and nod. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Man, breaks my heart. Can I get 5 piece, please? Yeah. Anyway. All right, man. So we got we're gonna change it up a little bit, man. We've got some sports to talk about, NBA stuff, because we're about to dip directly into the NBA playoffs. However, after yesterday's games, I failed to report that we were on life support as Laker fans, and now we are literally
Dead.
dead.
DOA. It's over.
We got nothing.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Just nothing to show for nothing.
Nothing.
So let's talk about the Death of the Lake show and this season. I sent off a question, man, and it was just like, how does this season rank in the worst seasons? We've been there in the Byron Scott days. You know what I'm saying? We were there after the Showtime Lakers, right before, Kobe and Shaq era. Then even after the Shaq and Kobe era, when Kobe had to carry the team for 2 more championships, that 17-win season we had was there for it.
Yeah.
How does this rank in your pantheon of the worst Lakers seasons, bro?
For me, man, this is probably, you know what I'm saying? And I hate to, man, you know what I'm saying? I hate being on social media and seeing people rank stuff and say stuff like that, man. But honestly, with the expectations that we had going into the season, you know what I'm saying? For us not even to make the play-in, even the play-in games is like terrible. So I think for me, this is probably the worst Lakers season ever for me. And I think that's just because we had talent. You know what I'm saying? Those Smush Parker teams, you know what I'm saying? Them old teams, or man, we were like, you know what I'm saying? When I remember when Magic, you know what I'm saying, when Magic announced that he had HIV, you know what I'm saying? And I remember that team was already like, didn't have a lot. Decline. And then like Sadell Threet was our go-to person, you know what I'm saying, before we got like Eddie Jones. So, and even with that season, man, it was like, well, we lost Magic. So it was like, we ain't really gonna be able to do a lot. You know what I'm saying? When Shaq left and it was like, this team is terrible with Kobe, it was like, we ain't really gonna be able to do a lot. This year, man, for us to have a top, if you want to say LeBron, the top 3, top 5, whatever, for us to have a top 3, top 5 player on our team, to have one of his best years ever, and for us to lose yesterday, we were our record is 31-48 right now. So to have 48 losses and LeBron James leads the league in scoring. Well, I mean, he's close. He might not lead it, but like my thought is like, even if he doesn't lead the league, for him to finish at 37 and top 3 in scoring, you know what I'm saying, and have the season that he had, he pretty much averaged 38 and 7.
Dude, just averaging 30 points a game at his age, period, is even at his age. I would hate to say at his age, because it's not like LeBron is our age, but still, the mileage that he's accrued over the 18 years now, NBA career. And I mean, the man, he came in the league fresh out of high school, starting. You know what I'm saying? Not even Kobe can say that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kevin Garnett, but heck, you know what I'm saying? By the tail end of Kevin Garnett's career, I think he was what, like a 10, maybe 10 and 7
He was just
dude?
like maybe 10 and 7
He was just like
he was just like
dude.
he was like Udonis Haslam, just like
Yeah, yeah,
he's a voice in the locker room, like showing us how to practice right. But
yeah.
I
But
don't know, man. For us to
yeah,
have LeBron have one of the best seasons he's ever had, and for us to be that terrible, like man, I definitely think Frank Vogel has to be fired. You know what I'm saying? I think this team has to be reworked. I would not be surprised if Rob Pelinka got fired too.
okay.
Just
Well, that brings me to a point then, man, because I did want to talk about so diagnose the season real quick, right? So, what are your main points of reference of why things work the way they work? Because I mean, I can tell you what I think, man. I mean, I really feel like this season is I can't blame it on one person. Like a lot of people will be like, well, Russ or the move to get Russ and
mm-hmm,
how we floundered our pieces and assets,
mm-hmm,
gave away Kuzma or let Kuzma go, let
mm-hmm.
what I'm saying, all these pieces go, that Lonzo Ball go. We what I'm saying, all these pieces that we had. But I'm gonna say, dude, even with all of that, I still feel like our core nucleus was LeBron and AD. And AD didn't show out, period.
Agreed.
I know I went into this season after the bubble thinking, okay, AD is going to actually step up a notch and take over that reign for LeBron because LeBron can't be the number one option anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I felt we were going to go. I was surprised by the Westbrook piece, and I told everybody beforehand that wanted to listen, this is the worst move we could ever have done.
Mm-hmm.
However, even when the season started up, I was still had hope that we're going to make the play-in tournament at least. I mean, we're too talented not to make the play-in tournament. Come on.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I there are so many things to me. There's like so many things had to go wrong for us to get to the point where we at right now. I agree. This is the worst Lakers season ever. I mean, I honestly felt like the only thing that came close was the year we had Nash and we had Dwight. I mean, not prime Dwight, but he was still Dwight. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But they made the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So I can't. It's hard for me to be like, oh, it's just we lost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this team, bro, after we lost Oklahoma City twice, I was like, okay, yeah, we making the play-in tournament. And now we ain't even making the play-in tournament. It's just it was one thing after another that led to another. And I think that once it got to a certain point in the season, a lot of the players just, number one, stopped caring. They weren't coached right, number one, on offense either.
Yeah.
We had a terrible defense. You would think if they try to get all these offensive guys that our offense will balance out some kind of way. No. Mm-mm. We had no defense, couldn't stop anybody, and people knew it around the league. Every team knew it, so every team would just pounce on it. Mm-hmm. And I just think, man, this is where we got to. So what are your thoughts about, what caused all this? So who are you putting the blame to?
I hate Frank Vogel, so that he's top of my list. Mm-hmm. After Frank Vogel, it's gonna be Rob Pelinka. And that says a lot because that's my guy, man. But I like him. But man, if LeBron and AD come to you and was like, "Hey, we want Russell Westbrook," man, in your mind, you got to be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? We could. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I could get him and not kill this team, maybe we could do something that way. But for you to give up Trez, KCP, Kuzma, you know what I'm saying? Like when we could have just traded Kuzma for Buddy Hield, and then we could have signed, you know what I'm saying? We could have kept Caruso. We could have signed DeRozan and signed Lonzo Ball because we had enough money for it. Like, bro, if we would have added everybody we added on top of that, that would have been different. As a Laker fan, the only thing that I'm really happy about this year is that LeBron had an amazing year at this age. And I think we solidified Carmelo being with the Lakers at least for another 1 to 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, I think Carmelo had a good year. I think he's proven that he deserve the role that he has, and I would like to see him on the team. Outside of that, man, like them not Malik Monk. We never figured out how to play him the right way. Austin Reeves, you know what I'm saying? All the young cats, I don't feel like they were used the right way. Us playing majority of these centers with LeBron and Carmelo while Dwight Howard sits on the bench is like the stupidest thing. And then the thing too is like, so we're terrible on defense, but we're terrible on offense too. So it's like, man, like what was the coaching doing? Like, bro, I don't know, man. I wish they would. There's a lot of people that need to go. Your boy Kendrick Nunn didn't play the whole season.
Yeah, the whole year. He's a Laker ghost, a Laker legend.
Yeah, he never played the whole season. Wayne Ellington, when he did get healthy, like he didn't play. Trevor Ariza, I haven't seen him in the last 30 games. Like my thought is, like
a lot of them are DNP, like coaches' decisions.
But that's my thing is like we've lost too many games for us not to be playing people. Like my thought is like, bro, at some point you got to throw everything in there into something stick. You know what I'm saying? Like that. And he wasn't doing that. He was just like, I don't know. Frank Vogel was arguably the worst part of this season. Then Russell Westbrook, man, like I'm not gonna say he single-handedly ruined our season, man, but bro, even like last night, like we're close in the game, and like all of a sudden he starts shooting and throwing the ball away, and I'm like, bro, this is our last game. And then, bro, we were up 2 points. I think we went into halftime down like 5, and dude, they opened up the third quarter. We was down 11, then we was down 20, then we was down 25, and it was like, bro, it was nothing that we could do. And Russell West, man,
yeah. I honestly felt like Phoenix was just toying with us anyway.
And then too,
I mean, I really do. AD as well, man. AD gotta, at this point, man, I know they're not gonna trade him, but my thought is like next year is his last year, bro. Like he got to figure that out, like how to not be so injury prone, or they're gonna have to get rid of him, man. You can't have that much payroll caught up in a dude who plays half a season. Man, so okay. Well, with that being said, here's the question, man. What we do for next year? If Jeannie Buss came to you right now and was like, Zyron Chilton, I'm gonna make you head of operations and manager. And I need you to actually make decisions to help this team. We are saddled right now because we got 3 big contracts. I don't know if anybody's gonna take on Russ's contract, so he probably might have to stay. Or if he doesn't, we're gonna have to get another bad contract in return. I'm giving the team reins to you. What are you gonna do? So what would you do, man?
Man, I think you definitely have to. We have to go and get some shooters, and we have to go and get at least another center, man. Like,
well, we don't have enough trade assets to trade for a big name. So
I mean, bro. I mean, like, do you draft, sign people from the G League? There's gotta be some scouting or something you can do, because at this point, man, like, bro,
we don't have any picks
for the next 3 years.
We mortgaged our future.
And that's why, especially for Russell Westbrook, man, I was like, bro, it would have been one thing to trade like 2 or 3 players for Russell Westbrook because he got a crazy contract. Mm-hmm. But to give up 4 players and 2 draft picks, like, bro, that's too much.
Yeah,
it's too much. So
my thing is this, man, and I hate to say it, but I feel like, number one, coaching wise, Vogel's gonna get the axe. I mean, I think that's pretty clear. I'll be surprised if they bring Vogel back. But I was saying, man, I think I shot it off in the group text. Like, I just feel like we don't need new blood, period. I know the rumor mill has been bringing Doc in, but to me, that's just trying to cover up something with something that may not be even better, because I know Doc loves LA and probably people in LA will love Doc, but Doc ain't really, besides that year he won with the Celtics, Doc has given up the most blown leads in the history of the NBA. Like, I just don't trust Doc to win. And that's just me personally. I love Doc as a person, as a coach. I love seeing him on the sideline. I love seeing the interviews. Hey, we tried. I mean, I you know what I'm saying? I love Doc, but I just don't feel like Doc can win in LA. And on top of that, so I'm just down with getting new blood in there as coaching. As far as our roster goes, we have like filler of mid-level exceptions. We need to. I don't think we can. I don't think we can do anything with the Russ contract. Russ is gonna have to stay another year. I honestly feel that way because I feel like if we did try to trade Russ off, all we gonna get in return is John Wall. That's it. That's the only thing we're gonna get in return. So I feel like what we're gonna have to do is keep Russ, keep AD. Somebody, please. I heard LeBron shared his you know what I'm saying, fitness program with AD. Man, all I can say is, man, something has to happen. Don't bulk up. Don't try to get bigger. Just work on your, I don't know, stretches, ligaments, something. I don't know, man. Whatever he can do to stay healthy for a whole year. This man has not played a whole year in I don't know how long.
I don't think he's ever played a whole year.
Ever played a whole season. So make that your top priority. Play the full season. AD, please. But I need him to actually take the reins over from LeBron because I don't want LeBron being our number one option. I just don't, man. I feel like if LeBron is worried about scoring all the time, that takes away from what LeBron has been at his peak. You know what I mean? LeBron has never been that, you know what I'm saying, 55, you know what I'm saying, 10-9 dude that you want from him. I'd rather see Brian doing like a 25-12, you know what I'm saying, and give me some decent boards. But I want to see AD take that reign of a superstar. I mean, he was supposed to be it. He's in the same class as Joker, and he's only 1 year removed from Giannis. Like, dude, you shouldn't be. And nobody even thinks to him on the same level as Giannis. But he's like, he's built for that. That's supposed to be his deal. So I don't know, man. It's yeah. I would take all those mid-level exceptions. I would drop every single one we got. Kendrick Nunn, all those guys. Bring in some 3-and-D guys who can actually D up, hit the three. That's all we need. 3-and-D guys. You know what I'm saying? A good point guard. That's. I mean, I feel like that will solve a lot of our woes, man, and keep AD in the dang on game and healthy. That's
so. Would you wouldn't keep Carmelo?
Yeah. I would keep Carmelo. I like because I mean, to me, Carmelo is going to be number one. Whatever we lack, if AD can stay healthy and be that anchor on defense like he can be, then he can cover up for some of the deficiencies that we lose on the defensive side with Melo. Because I'm sorry, man, when I watch Melo, I love his 3-point range. I love the fact that he tries on defense, but these young cats can just go right by him. I mean, that's just the way it is.
But I also think too, though, man, like if you really think about most people in the league, most people get blew right by too. The difference between most everybody is that they have rim protection. And this year, if we're playing with LeBron and Carmelo as our bigs, we don't have no rim protection. So when people blow by Carmelo, there's no help on the other end. I think if Frank Vogel would have played Dwight Howard more like he was supposed to, or if AD was not injured the whole season, I think Carmelo, because this year, like actually watching Carmelo play, this is the most that I've ever seen him involved on the defensive end. Not saying that makes him better than what he would have been 15 years ago, but he was actually trying this year. But it was once you blew by him, there was nothing in the back at all.
No, man. But teams were getting whatever they wanted. That's pretty much it, man. I mean, when you see teams, the Thunder scored like 130 on us, hopped up 130 on us. Name one other player from the Thunder besides SGA.
I can't name him. How about that?
No, SGA is cold with it though. He cold.
Yeah,
but that's it. Yeah, they got players that I'm like, who, what, and they beat us twice. So yeah, go figure, man.
And then it was just like you know what I'm saying. Last night was the game that counted. You know what I'm saying? If they would have played and Devin Booker would have beat us with a 3 at the end of the game, I'd have been like, hey, we tried our hardest, bro. We got blew out. That was just like how our season went. Every time that we needed something, we didn't show up at all. Like the effort was terrible. Like the decision making was terrible. I was like, what?
Man, and then hearing the post-game interviews, I don't see anybody like, I don't know. It just felt like this wasn't a team. You know what I mean?
It was
like,
nobody being like, bro, you messing up. Like, bro, did we even hear about, hey, we had some closed door meetings? Like we had a players only meeting. Did we hear anything about that with the Lakers this year?
No. And then when they talk, it's like, so I mean, Russ is gonna have his own crazy. I hate to say kind of crazy, but Russ in the media is one thing. But whenever they talk, man, it's just like nobody's taking responsibility for it. It's just like, even when AD said after, it was like, hey, man, I feel like we'll never know what the season could have been, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, we know what the season was because even when everybody was healthy, y'all still sucked.
And you didn't show up.
Like,
you didn't show up. I want to hear AD be like, bro, I got to be better.
I got to be better.
Like I'm a top 10 player in this NBA, man, and I got to dominate every night. Like, say that. That's what I want to hear you say.
I don't know, man. Like I said, it just felt like it was all about no team effort, no nothing. And no communication on defense. People would just blow by. You wouldn't hear nothing. Make the shot, and then, LeBron would get mad, trape down the floor, take a couple possessions off. And I mean, that's always been LeBron's stick during the season. Sometimes is he take a couple possessions off, reserve.
Well, you got to do that. There's no way
to do that to reserve.
You play 45 minutes for
that
18
that good
years.
blow by he has, but
yeah,
you know what I mean. It just. I don't know, man. It didn't work. But anyway, a bad season, bro. If we could cue the music, it'd be some sad angel music or something. I don't know. It's just, hey, well. And what's crazy is, man, I don't know if you caught the hot mic for the for the announcer, the LA announcer. That last game, he hot mic'd before the game came on and was like, oh man, just hurry and get this terrible season over with. I hope we lose tonight. Like literally, that was his hot bite. Right. And I was like, man, I cannot blame him.
I'm not mad at him, man.
It's been terrible, man.
It's been a terrible season.
All right, so man, speaking of the Lakers, man, there is actually a show on that's been, I think we're on episode 5 now. Episode 6 coming out. Winning Time, that comes on HBO Max. I've been peeping at big time, man. It's been blowing my mind. You watching it, man. Give me your thoughts on it, dude.
Bro, I think it's one thing, like, especially like, you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously we're Laker fans. So like I knew about Magic's rookie season. You know what I'm saying? I knew that, you know what I'm saying, Kareem was older and they were worried about Magic and Kareem fit with each other and, you know what I'm saying, like stuff like that. But to go back and actually see how everything is, and I understand it's a drama, so I understand like some stuff is overplayed. I don't really think that Jerry West is that crazy. He might be semi-crazy, but I don't think he's over the top, throwing the trophy through the window crazy like every, you know what I'm saying? So I know they embellish some stuff. Yeah. But man, just still like, even whatever is embellished, just to kind of see the story, you know what I'm saying? Like to see what happened with Magic, to see how Jerry Buss was really like, bro, like he was a bad season away from not having this team. Like, you know what I'm saying? Man. Like, or to see like the first Laker owner was like really a racist that hung out with other racists. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's a lot of stuff that I see, or like, man, like, so, you know what I'm saying? Not giving away the thing, but like last episode, I was like, was Kareem really like this? Like, I was almost to the point of like, I don't think I like Kareem anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Man, there is so much, because I mean, okay, so I remember the Showtime Lakers, but I don't remember that season because, man, that would have been 3 years old. You know what I mean? Like, I don't remember the 1979-80 season.
I remember reading about it because I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like I tell you,
no.
The crazy thing I tell people all the time, my go-to book report when we were like from middle school to high school, like if we came to class and they was like, hey, I need you to give a book report or give a speech about somebody. I knew Magic Johnson's life so much that I could give a speech on Magic Johnson off the top of my head because he was my favorite player. So I had read about all the stuff. I read about everything. So I know a lot about it, but I've never seen it or I never knew what happened, like you saying. So
yeah, I mean, my first introduction to the Showtime Lakers was just, I want to say it was that season when they had the Celtics in the, what was it? I don't think it was like probably the first. No. It was the second season after. My first recollection of the NBA actually was the Celtics versus I forgot who they were playing, but when Bird stole the basketball and they won that game, it was like game 6 or game 7 or something.
Wasn't that the Pistons?
I mean, it may have been the Pistons actually. That was my first recollection of like, this is basketball. Like, whoa, okay. And then of course it was all Lake Show from there. Like the Magic Johnson passes, the between the legs passes, the straight up no looks. I mean, that was my introduction to it. And I always thought Kareem Skyhook was just a terrible looking shot. But it was automatic.
It was automatic,
baby. I mean,
buddy.
just man. But yeah, and I remember I mean, that was my introduction. But watching this, man, just it makes it so much realer. Like, I did not know that the NBA, I knew the NBA had issues early on, or whatever the case is, but I just didn't know how bad those issues were. Like, they were literally one season away from shutting down that bad. You know what I mean? Like, bro, it's kind of crazy when you look back on it, and now this thing is international, baby. I mean, it's just bro. But see, the NBA has grown big time.
But see, I think that's one of the problems that I always have when people be like, well, Michael Jordan is the GOAT, or Michael Jordan is so-and-so. And I'm like, bro, Magic Johnson, and I know with Larry Bird, but Magic Johnson beat Bird more times. That's why I always say Magic Johnson. But you know, like the Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, like NCAA game, it's like the most watched college basketball game still to this day.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Because you got to think, like in 1979 or 78, when they had to, you know what I'm saying? That's 43 years ago. Like, how many people really had TV? Or like, and did everybody be like,
I guess everybody who had a
Magic
TV had it on that
Bird
channel
tonight, everything is closed. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
they said like, so that's the most watched basketball game in NCAA history. And then on top of that, they was like, hey, this league is dying. You know what I'm saying? What's going to save this league? If you've seen like the first game, they was like CBS who had games were playing like replays. They was like, bro, we don't even want to watch no live games. So they were playing replays. Like, they were going to just play replays of the game like wrestling. You know what I'm saying? It was going to be like wrestling. They weren't even going to be live no more.
Yeah.
And Magic and Bird, that
Save
rivalry,
pretty much.
And you know what I'm saying, the Showtime Lakers and the hard-working Celtics is really what saved the league. And it got people into basketball in such a way. And it's nothing against Michael Jordan, but Michael Jordan, the table was set for him. You hear me?
Yeah,
like,
the
table was set for him, and he did exactly what he was supposed to do. I have nothing bad to say about him as a basketball player. You know that. He's just not my favorite. But my thought is, he did exactly what he was supposed to do. But if there's no Magic Johnson and Larry Bird,
those don't Michael. Period.
Yeah, we're not even talking about Michael Jordan. We're probably not even talking about the NBA no more.
Yeah, no, they saved the league. They saved it, man, big time,
bro.
But
and then
back to what you were saying about Kareem, though, man. Like, bro, I mean, I didn't realize it either. Like, but apparently, and I've been hearing this on. I don't know if you've actually checked it out, but if you get a chance to, man, check this out. There's a reporter, Jackie something. I can't remember Jackie. She used to do all the reporting on the NBA.
Jackie McMullen.
Yeah. So she's got a podcast that's out right now called Icons, NBA Icons List. Bro, if you get a chance to peep it out, because she went from Wilt and Elgin to Dr. J to Magic and Bird. And then she went to Michael Jordan. She devoted one to Michael Jordan. And then she devoted one to like the enigmas, the who were close to being icons, but just weren't there. You know what I'm saying? Like a Barkley and Ewing and all those cats. And now she's about to do Kobe next. Man, great podcast. But anyway, when she was talking about Magic and Bird and how they literally did like hate each other originally. And like that whole dynamic between them two, man. And bro, I just wish when I say that's part of the NBA that I do miss, I miss that, man. I do. I miss seeing like, hey, we're gonna bust y'all head tonight. And I mean, I'm hoping we see it in this year's playoffs again, because I mean, I love that about I know you don't like him, Giannis, but I love that about Giannis's game. Like, man, I'm staying in Milwaukee, small, you know what I'm saying, small market team. I'm gonna build this up to a championship, and I'm gonna bust people in their head when they try to come here. I like that. I feel like the NBA needs more of that still. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think
the skill of the NBA is far more than it's ever been. These players are ridiculous. I mean, there's so many different stars now than there was back then. But at the same time, I don't know. I just don't like this whole we cool and we friends. I don't know, man. It's just
I don't think it's so much we cool and we friends thing, man. I don't think that bothers me. You know what I'm saying? I think what it is, what bothers me is like I'm more concerned about my stats. I'm more concerned about my stats than, you know what I'm saying, like than the team. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's cool for us to like, man, we used to we played, you know, obviously me and Robin played at Foster, and we used to play Kent and Charles. They played at Lewis and Clark, natural rivals. It was, and bro, we hung out with Kent and Charles outside of school. Like during the summer, we would play basketball with each other. We would like Charles Bell. Like you remember Charles Bell?
Yeah.
Like, bro, we would hang with each other all the time. But bro, when it was time to play, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like I wanted to beat you. Like, bro, we wanted to beat you when we played, or you know what I'm saying? Like when we would play basketball, or I remember summer league, us playing against like Derek Taylor and Bobby Willis, them, man. I'm like, bro, I know we all played with each other at Booker T, but I'm like, bro, it's summer league. I'm gonna give him some points, or I'm gonna show them I'm better than them. And then it like going to the court and showing that I'm better than you. And then after the game, we could be super cool. But like, once we get in this game, I'm gonna be like Isaiah and Magic. Like, bro, I'm gonna dap you up. I ain't gonna kiss you, but I'll dap you up and hug you. But after, soon as this ball go up, I'm gonna punch you in the face. Bro.
Yeah, and you see that. I mean, I see it like with KD and the way KD play. Like KD got that in him too. Where
Embiid do too.
You know
and I think that's
Embiid
why KD
got it too.
I think that's why KD and Embiid, but I bet you they like each other more than anybody else because they respect that out of each other.
Yeah. But yeah, man, that's why I'm hoping to actually see a Nets in the Philly run, but it's not gonna happen for the first round like I was hoping it would.
Yeah, dude. So here's the crazy thing though. Like, so back to like the winning time. So I'm watching this, and we're watching all the shows, man. And then like this last episode, they talked about Spencer Haywood. And I was like, I knew who Spencer Haywood was.
Call me illiterate. I didn't know,
bro. So let me tell you though, the crazy thing was, Rocky sent me a picture probably like 2 weeks ago. So when Rocky got married in Vegas, his daddy and Spencer Haywood are super cool.
What?
So like when he got married in Vegas, we pretty much had Rocky's reception at Spencer Haywood's house.
Oh, snap.
Bro, like big a mansion, you know what I'm saying? A mansion in Las Vegas, man. You know what I'm saying? Pool outside, music, everything. Bro, he listened to my music. Like Spencer Haywood was critiquing my music. He was like, I actually like that. He was like, I like when you said this and that. You know what I'm saying? He was super cool, man. He was like, sign my CD before I could, you know what I'm saying? Brought a CD, had us sign it. I don't know.
Yo, that's dope.
He was super cool to me. And so just
to
so just to see him like when he was, because I've heard stories about Spencer Haywood, but I heard they also didn't like him because of what he did. And he was like pretty much marching to his own drum. But then to see him on the, I was like, well, look at that.
Well, the owners didn't like him.
Yeah, the players loved him. Yeah,
players loved the owners was the one who, and to me, man, it makes sense though, because you know what I'm saying? He came in wrecking shop with it. Like, hey, look, I'm about to open, but I didn't know he was the first one to be like, and he had that lawsuit.
High school. Yeah, he went to the Supreme Court. Yeah. So, bro, at the end of the day, winning time is amazing. It's probably been the only good thing about this year is that I get to watch the Lakers on Sunday night and not think about how terrible we're gonna be for the rest of the week.
Yeah, man. That's it's been amazing to watch. I will say that, man. And it's crazy because we know some of the stuff that's about to happen. I just want to see how they include it into the series, man.
Yeah,
like,
bro. I was wondering what happened to the coach. I was like, Jack McKinney. I've never heard of Jack McKinney. Bro, Laker. All my Laker knowledge. I knew the year that we won.
Paul Westphal.
Paul Westphal was the head coach. And then I know in the second season, Magic got Paul Westphal fired. They called Magic like the coach killer for like half the season because they said he went to Jerry Buss and was like, we're not playing for Paul Westphal, and they fired him. That's okay. But I did the Jack McKinney thing was that was all brand new to me.
Yeah, no, man. Man, it's crazy because I want to see what these people who are in this think about this. I know that They people close to Jerry West was like he don't like it, which I understand why, because they got him depicted as like a crazy man.
I heard Magic say like they asked him about
Magic
it, and
said
he said
he watched none of it.
He said he didn't watch it because he lived it all, but that didn't say that none of this is true. He just said I lived it all. I really don't want to go back. And plus, the way that they had Magic being Magic, you probably don't want to see all. You don't want your kids to see Magic. What was the pimp name? Oh my god.
Yeah, man. But here's the thing, man. We all know the stories about Magic,
bro. Magic was Magic, man.
Yeah, we ain't got to get into it, but we all know the stories about Magic, man. Come on.
But if you got a chance, go and check out Winning Time. I definitely enjoy it.
Yeah. But Magic is supposed to be coming out with his own documentary too.
I heard he is. Yep, I heard that too.
Yeah. So I want to check it out, but it's with Apple TV. All right, man. So speaking of infidelity and all the other good stuff.
Oh my God, I already know.
Let's direct this conversation into some more. I don't even know what to call it now, man, because it's just getting insane.
Can we just limit it to like 5 minutes? Let's just touch on it and go.
I figure this can lead to some real deep talk between us, man, as black men.
Agree.
So the Will Smith debacle is still kind of out there.
Debacle.
I knew there was going to be some consequences, but I didn't know exactly what was going to happen. And I was kind of still sketchy about how long the story was going to be out in the public.
Yeah.
Because I figured it would die off within maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
But it just seems like it keeps rearing up something new every day. I don't know.
I think this is last week. I think it dies after this.
You think it dies after this?
Yeah, because people are sick of talking about it.
Nope, because I sent you the link today. So apparently the dude, August Alsina.
I saw that. I already saw it. I already know it. I saw it today too. And I was like,
August Alsina then made a statement about him being with Jada, and now he's gonna write. He's getting a book deal to talk about. Yes. He's getting a book deal to talk about every single thing that happened between him and Jada Pinkett.
All right. Well, you got to know. She got to know. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, well, I mean, honestly, this to me, this is like the worst male move you could ever do.
It is.
I understand him trying to secure his bag. So, I mean, that's just the way people are nowadays. Like, you got to secure the bag at all costs, blah, blah, blah. And if you're going to ride the moment, because that's what everybody else does. So, but it's still excuse my language, a whole move to me. Like, it's something you just don't do, man.
Yeah.
But, okay, collect your bag. So I feel like that's what's going to keep this story going even longer, because it has to do with Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. A lot of people have been coming out talking about that, because there was a new camera angle of the slap in the aftermath of the slap and Jada's reaction to it. There's a story about Jada coming out saying, I didn't agree with what Will Smith did. I'm not mad at him, but you know what I'm saying, I don't agree with him being violent. A lot of people are actually, I don't want to say coming for Jada, but feeling a certain type of way,
man,
about not Jada particularly, but just the Will and Jada dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm gonna give you opportunity, man. What's your thoughts? Also, I'm sorry, a couple other things in the news, the consequences on it. They have, and I don't know if this is more consequences, but they've halted and paused some of the production on some of his stuff that's going on right now. Me personally, I feel like that's more of a money move for Hollywood, and not really a consequence to Will, because it's probably they're gonna restart production because Will Smith is still a cash cow.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but your thoughts, man?
I think what I was disappointed was the CAA, which is like the talent, like the agents or like the talent agency that that most of these actors, you know what I'm saying, they negotiate for most of these actors and high profile people. They were like, we were considering dropping Will Smith. So I was very disappointed in that, because the thing is like, bro, Will Smith doesn't need y'all. Will Smith is he's a major, you know what I'm saying, a Hollywood major actor. He doesn't, for y'all to even say that. I hope he leaves y'all. I think that bothered me. The halting the production, I think that's fancy language to be like, hey, we're not moving forward. We just want this to blow over. We don't, you know what I'm saying? We don't condone his behavior right now. So to me, I think that's a lot of what that is. I don't read into that. The last thing I really want to say, I posted yesterday on Facebook. It was like Will Smith done had more consequences than Kyle Rittenhouse.
Ooh.
And that's where I was like, man, think about this. This man done went and killed people. Oh, this man done went and killed people, man. And we're gonna really talk about Will Smith slapping a man like the what was the lady name? Amy Schumacher was like, she's traumatized. Yeah. She got to take time off because
Kyle Rittenhouse guys.
But they said she had a joke about R. Kelly peeing on like Will Smith's kids, and I was like, see, that's the
really.
Yeah, so that's what I heard too. So I don't know. I'm not big into her. She's not funny to me. So I don't really care about her to start off with. But
I don't know. I heard her. I'm not really a fan of.
I heard her say something about that too, and I was just like, you know what? I don't care what you think. But I think so that part, those are the things that kind of bother me this week. We talked about it yesterday or maybe today, but like, and I talked about it with my wife. I was like, man, I don't feel like Jada Pinkett is supported Will Smith the way that she's supposed to. My wife has a different opinion. She was like, she's actually heard, she read the Will Smith book too. So she said there was more situations with Will Smith in this than just Jada Pinkett. I guess he's seen some girls get abused or raped, and he felt like he didn't stand up either, or something like that. Some other things, but she said in the Red Table Talk, she said Jada Pinkett really talks really well about Will Smith all the time. So I'm gonna put that out there because that's what she said. But me personally, and I know we talked about it, I think she's terrible. I think she's terrible. She should have came out the next day and was like, you know what? I don't condone violence, but my husband protected me, and I will stand by his side through and through. You know what I'm saying? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah,
just like, a basic.
When does she?
Something.
Yeah, it's like what we talked about last week when you said when does she stand up for him in public?
Yeah,
she doesn't, man, and she's terrible. I feel like, and and just my thought. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the inside of the relationship. I don't know what was, and he's still there, so obviously he still loves her, man. But to me, Jada Pinkett is terrible.
Bro, I heard an interview with Earthquake.
Oh, I heard that too.
And I was going
to talk about that when we move back and more to the next part. Okay. But yes,
but he said something that I don't know the ins and outs of their marriage. All I know is what they've made public, which again, I don't think people will be having these conversations about them if they didn't make all this stuff public.
Agreed.
But this is the stuff they've made public. And looking at what they've made public, I agree with what Earthquake said. He said, man, I feel sorry for Will. He feels like Will Smith is loves this woman, Jada, but she don't love him back.
Agreed.
And it made me think and pause real quick because I don't know if I'm not going to put any business out there, but all I can say is I get that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I don't know what man has been in this situation before, but you can find yourself in a situation where you love a woman and no matter what, she may put up with you. She may, you know what I'm saying, stay with the relationship or whatever the case is, only because of what you can give her or only because of, you know what I'm saying? Women settle a lot because of the way you treat them, blah, 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 blah. You're the best man in the room. But when it comes to really loving somebody, I feel like Jada loved Pac. You know what I mean? But the way she loved Pac,
but the way she talks about him, the way she looks when she's talking about him,
it like her whole face when she talks about Will, you don't see that. You don't see that.
Yeah, you see more of a like this cat. It's just it's like a frustration when she talks about him to me, from what I've seen.
Well, and here's the deal. So, and I challenge. I mean, I read I went through the book. I did the audio book, and I feel like it was a great book. But Will does open up about a lot of stuff in this book, personal stuff that I don't think I would be able to even go into. Like he's on a different level where he just decided to open up and say a whole bunch of stuff. So he talks about him meeting Jada, and he talks about his divorce before he met Jada, and he talks about um, the love of his life, who was this girl from high school, and he really devoted a lot of time to that relationship. And the one thing he talks about, and nobody's brought it up yet, which is kind of surprising to me because this part of the book was just it was a lot. It was a lot because he talked about how he loved this girl, and I forgot her name either. She was in the book a lot, but after like his first album and his touring, they were I think working on the second album or something. He came back, home, and basically the girl cheated on him. And he talked about his feelings and emotions in this book. Like this was his first heartbreak.
Mm-hmm.
And it got to the point where he literally broke glass talking to the girl. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just one of those things. And then after they broke up and after that happened, he went on his whole phase or whatever you want to call it, sleeping with a lot of women, blah, 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 blah. Then he met his first wife. They got together. They had his first son, Trey. And then he talked about after that, marriage fell apart, which he said both of them had their own things with it, that he was just like distraught. And he was like, I want my marriage to work. And so I get where he's coming from as a man. Like he talks about it in the book and you can kind of see his mental process and all of this. But then when he talks about Jada, like you can kind of tell that he goes into detail about certain things that happened. Like he threw her a 30th or 40th birthday. It was like this humongous bash. Like he had Oprah there. He like put this extravagant thing together. And like, she was just like, I'm not impressed. And this is not what I want.
I can see her doing that though.
Yeah. I mean, and some of the stuff I can understand what he's saying. Like, it's not cool to try to make you're not in charge of making your spouse happy and all that good stuff. But some of the stuff that he talks about with him and Jada, it just seems clear. Like he
she don't
loves
like
her.
Yeah.
But it's not reciprocated in the same way you would think a wife would. It's just weird, man. And I really feel that way. I really do. And it's just my opinion based on what they've shown us in the public eye. And I agree with that. Like, I just feel like if she did, there would be a lot of different moves being made.
Agreed.
And I still honestly feel like the August Alsina thing, people aren't bringing that up enough and saying how freaking terrible that is.
So here's the thing, and this is what I'll tell you how I feel about it. Like, they keep on being like, well, Will and Jada had an open marriage, and they were broke up with each other at that time, blah 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 blah. Technically, I don't really too much care about her cheating per se, because if they were open or they were broke up, that's between them. They moved past that. They're okay with that. Who am I to judge that part of their relationship? What bothers me is that it was her son's friend. That's the part that bothers me, because my thought is like, for you to mess with my friend shows how much you don't care about your son. Like, bro, this is my homeboy. Like, imagine all the things you do with a woman that you're having sex with, whether it be your wife or your entanglement, whatever it is. Imagine the level of knowing each other y'all know. Now imagine that being your homeboy's mom.
Man.
I introduced you to my homeboy, and you done started flirting with my homeboy, secretly meeting him, all this weird stuff with my homeboy. Like, who does they child like that? Maybe it's just my thoughts, but to me, that's the part that I had a problem with.
No, you're not wrong. I mean, listen, we have a daughter in college right now, going to San Francisco University. If she came home if she came home for summer, right, brought one of her little friends from college and was like, hey, she's gonna stay here for the summer, and we were like, okay, cool, bring on. If whoever this little scallywag is, I hate to say that, but whoever she is, she came into our house and I somehow, me and my wife were on the fritz, and I somehow started messing with my daughter's college friend.
Yeah.
Bro, you know how terrible, man, they probably want to press charges, even if she was over 18.
Yeah.
That's just, I'm sorry, man. That's just disgusting. Number one. That's just dirty, disgusting.
It's disappointing too, man. Like my thought was, bro, if you told me something like that, I'd be like, Joe, you know better than that, bro. Why the hell did you do
I would
that?
expect you to.
Yeah, like that's not
I would
cool,
expect you to
bro.
be like, bruh. I mean, that's just grimy. That's super grimy.
That's terrible.
Like, okay. So yeah, I just feel like that don't get enough. And I understand we like to support our own, especially black women. We like to support our black women are the only ones I see like defending Jada to the point of madness to me.
Black women are defending. They're defending Jada. I will give them that. I will tell you, black women are defending Jada.
But at the same time, hey, we was defending I wasn't, but we as people sometimes were defending R. Kelly too. Sometimes you got to call a spade with spade.
Man,
stop. Look at what she's done and be like, okay, that's just foul.
But I think
you can't do that.
In that same line, though, I think that's why we defended R. Kelly, though. Like, I feel as black people, we feel like we only have so much to start off with, and we don't want the world to attack one of our own. And when the world starts attacking one of our own, we want to shield them and be like, no, this is so-and-so, this is so-and-so. And then at the same time, you got to be like, he said little cute Aaliyah's got it. She was 12, bro. Like, some of the stuff we got to be like, you know what? I can't support that.
That ain't worth defending.
Yeah, we can't defend everybody. And I understand, bro. You know how they
gotta
like
choose wisely.
Yeah,
you know
like
I'm saying
I'm rooting for everybody black. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. Like, I definitely understand that thought, man. But at the same time, like, bro, some of this stuff I just can't, man. I'm you know what I'm saying? The Tory Lane, Megan Thee Stallion. I don't even know what the situation is, man. But every time she said that this dude shot her. So like my thought is like, I'm not going to defend him. You know what I'm saying? Like my thought is until they go to court and they like, well, he didn't shoot her, I'm not going to defend him. You know what I'm saying? And most people might not even know about it. But the thing is, like, we see our stars and we feel like we have to defend our black people. And sometimes we got to be like, nah, that's wrong. Jada Pinkett, you're terrible. You're like a slime ball wife. I'm sorry to say that, but she's terrible to me, man.
Let it go viral,
bro. I'm not gonna say my homeboy's name because I don't know if he want me to say what but my homeboy today said Will got it. He's like, I love Will, man, but Will got to come to the fact that he got a lemon. He done went to the dealership and he done got a lemon, baby. He got.
I was laughing so hard, man. He said, man, you just need a new wife.
You just need to throw the whole wife away, bro. Just go ahead and get you a new one, man. Bro, you got too much money to deal with a wife like that, man.
Oh, Lord. But yeah, man, no, I get it, man. I get it, because it's like the Bill Cosby stuff. When that first came out, you know what I'm saying? I was like, no. They trying to frame him. He trying to buy NBC. Just the powers that be,
trying to hold
baby.
the black man down.
You know what I'm saying? But then some of the stuff started coming out, and you was like,
no. Let me tell you, even when the stuff came out, I was like, it's Bill Cosby. I can't Bill wouldn't do this. And then we was in Vegas. And it was Mia Time and Robin. And the time was like, listen to this stand-up from Bill Cosby. And it was from like 1968. It was about Spanish Fly. And you can go to Spotify right now and look up Bill Cosby, Spanish Fly, and he talks about drugging women and having sex with women once they're drugged. And then once I heard that, I was like, 1968? Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Woo. I can't do it no more. Yeah. I tried to support.
Just when we saw that video in 1997 of R. Kelly?
Yeah.
After that, bro, you done saw it now?
Yeah. No, man, bro, no, because I remember. Yeah.
You can't defend every black person, man.
You can't.
I want to defend every black person. I want to believe everybody's right. I want to believe everybody gets this legal system is terrible, and we always get the short end of the stick. So I definitely want to, but at sometimes too, you gotta be like, the shine, bro. It's 22 women. Like, It's 22, bro. That's not.
Yeah.
It's not 6.
I can't lie. I'm still holding out hope that somehow this was some kind of conspiracy theory because I love the sign. I'm like, bro, you was one of the ones who was like, nobody said anything about the sign. Nobody.
I believe the Texans owner, homeboy, was the dude who started the thing too. So I'm still holding out hope too. But at the same time,
it's just looking
22 Deshaun, 22. But his girl is still with him too. You know, the girl that he do the pregame, all that with.
Yeah. Well, on top of that, man. So like, there was a lot of masseuse ladies who came out and said, you know, he was the consummate professional, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So there was other ones that came out on the other side, but then there was also, not only was the 22, but there was also ones that didn't put in for a lawsuit who came out and said, yeah, he did some stuff, but I'm not doing it for the money. I'm just telling you what happened. I'm like, ooh, that looks,
yeah.
Okay. Well, oh God. So anyway, all right. Speaking of therapy, massage therapy, and just Black men, let's get into this issue of therapy and our community, man.
Yeah.
Bro, and man, I don't know if you're watching, but the Clippers are roasting Phoenix, but Phoenix has nothing to prove tonight. So
man, they probably don't even play the rest of their starters for the rest of the month.
No, JaVale McGee's been playing like all game. So
yeah, I doubt Chris Paul, they played last night to do that to the Lakers on purpose. And like,
yeah, because they knew if they won, they would knock them out. So yeah,
not even that. And I don't think it was, I'm not gonna sound that. It wasn't the Lakers on purpose. I thought it was good for them to beat the Lakers, but to beat the Lakers on their 63rd. The 63rd game was the most wins they've ever had in the season. So I was like, to get that on our Lakers, that's what the thing was. So
yeah.
I
don't know. Anyway, so let's talk about something deep, man. We kind of touched on the last time we had a show. I know you talked about you know what I'm saying, you doing the counseling sessions, whatever, whoop-de-woo.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't gone into detail, but I'm kind of cool with opening up a little bit on this subject. I have started up some or the last time I tried counseling, man, I did like one session. It's just hard. It's one of those things where it's hard to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but I promised myself that I would actually go and continue to go. But I also promised myself this time around that I would pick a Black male therapist. And the sad thing is there's none here in Tulsa.
Yeah, I'm about to say that's the struggle.
So I had to get a virtual one from Oklahoma City. So anyway, that's just one of the things and that's kind of crazy to me because you would think that, and I guess this is where I wanted to go with it. I feel like the Black man, and I mean Black women too, but I feel like us as Black men have been through more trauma than anybody in this entire nation. So if anybody should be getting, you know what I'm saying, counseling, therapy sessions, whatever the case is, we should be number one on that block. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Because there's so many different things that hit us that I do feel like we've been conditioned and brought up to be like, don't show your emotions, don't show your feelings. You know what I'm saying? And if you do, you weak. You know what I'm saying? Like that stuff has been ingrained in us, and it's hard coming out of that shell, man. It is. I think that is probably one of the hardest things, me personally, that to try to actually deal with, like, you know what I'm saying? Like sharing emotions, especially emotions that make you look bad or look weak. Those are very vulnerable things. And the only time I've ever felt or said anything was to my wife. And those are the most vulnerable moments to my wife. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things that's kind of odd and it's kind of weird, but I feel like the older I'm getting, the more I'm trying to peel back some layers. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, man. So let's talk about this, man. This dynamic of counseling and our people, man, and how what do you feel about it, bro? What do you feel?
Man, let's obviously I've been going to counseling, and it ain't nothing crazy. I think I'm like 3 sessions in, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't even like, you know what I'm saying, I've been doing this for years, or I figured out how to, but it's just like, myself, I wanted to go to counseling, man, just for some coping skills, man. Like I feel like a hole in everything. Like I don't say nothing about nothing. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I don't like I'm mad about something, but I won't say nothing about it. Or like they kind of piss me off, but I won't say nothing about it. Because I don't want nobody to be like, oh, he's sensitive or his feelings is hurt. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of like the thing you just said. Like, so my thing is like, that don't matter. It ain't big. So you know what I'm saying? I don't talk about stuff. Or the thing too is like we just like how we started the show, like how you feel. And I have everything going. You know, no complaints. And if I did have complaints, nobody listened to them no way.
Yeah.
That's because that's how we feel. You know what I'm saying? So I just think, man, like it's so much stuff that we go through. And like you said, condition, it's so many things that we go through, and then we don't have any outlets. And so now we don't have any outlets. We're holding all this frustration and anger. I have to go to work and I feel a certain way around these people at work. I got to talk a certain way. They're going to say some stuff to me that I can't respond the way I want to respond because I got to keep this job, because I got to have a place to live. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it's so much pressure and there's so much stuff that you go through that you find yourself like, how am I coping with all this extra stuff? You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how you cope or what everybody go through. Like, but for me, what it had got to was, like, man, I'm frustrated at work, frustrated in marriage, money situation is crazy, or this feels so, my job situation is crazy. Man, I'm gonna have a drink. And I'm gonna have another drink. And like, do I feel like I need these drinks? Nah, but this is the only thing that makes me forget about these problems. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not looking at these problems the right way. You know what I'm saying? So when I started going to therapy, I was like, bro, I just got to be able to find a way to deal with like everyday life. And the first thing that we talked about was she was like, and I got a blank. My thought to go back to your thing, when I was like, I'm going to therapy, I'm going to find a Black therapist. You know what I'm saying? Dude, it's 0.5% Black therapists in this country. Black men.
Wow.
0.5%. So for you to find a Black therapist is like needle on a haystack to find a Black man. So once I couldn't find a Black man, I was like, I'll find a Black woman. When that's still rough, but it's just not as rough as finding a Black man. But I found a Black woman and we started talking, and you know what I'm saying? We just having a conversation. She asked me like this and that. And like one of the things she talked about, she was like, so how often are you frustrated by something and you don't say anything about it? I'm like, all the time. And she was like, so why don't you say anything about it? And like we started going through like, why don't talk about it, this and that. And it's a whole bunch of different, it's not like a one thing, because I might not say something to my wife based off of a way that I feel about my wife. But then I might not say something to my homeboy because it's something with my homeboy. And then that could be totally different from why I won't say nothing at work. You know what I'm saying? But then to kind of find those reasons and start to see those reasons, and then to start like addressing, being able to like, hey, I'm gonna have to say something.
Yourself.
I gotta express myself. And so like the crazy part for me is like, bro, I've been going to, like I said, I went like 3 or 4 sessions. So it's probably been like the last 6 weeks. But bro, I have drunk liquor like maybe 3 times in the last month and a half. Like, bro, wow. I'm not, it's the craziest thing too, is like, you know what I'm saying? It'd be like Friday night or something. I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna have a drink. You know what I'm saying? Watch a movie, hang out or whatever. But when I come home from work, bro, I'll be like, shoot, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. Like, I don't feel like I have to, because I'm at work, I'm telling people how I feel. At home, I'm telling people how I'm feeling. And it's not like even like, let me get the chance to, all right, maybe I'll work it in the conversation. It's like, no, when something frustrates me, I'm gonna hit you and be like, look, what you did frustrated me. Blah, 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 blah. And it's helped me. You know what I'm saying? It helped me to feel like I can express, but my stress level the last 6 weeks
gone down a lot.
Is crazy. Like crazy. But and I'm not saying like that's a simple thing. And I'm just saying that was just one step. So I couldn't even imagine if I did this continuously. And I really talked about like everything that bothers me, man. But to me, man, as a Black man, just to go through that, and I told you I was going through these diversity and inclusion classes too. And so one of the things too was like there's an actual term for being a Black person or being a minority, and you feel like you have to you got to work harder, you have to take the terrible shifts, you have to. So like my therapy and the diversity and inclusion stuff that I've been doing lately, just to kind of see like what Black people have to go through to deal with life. It is so much, man. You know what I'm saying? So my thoughts to everybody, man, go and see a therapist, man. The crazy thing is, like, most companies have a program called EAP.
Yeah,
It's
we
like
have ours. I get 5 sessions for free. So
you get 5 sessions for free.
yeah.
Call the people, you tell them like, hey man, I'm having a problem dealing with so and so, or like I need to talk to a therapist because blah 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 blah. And then they'll give you like a thing and you could go and find a therapist. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I found mine. You get 5 free visits, even if you just take 3. And I think they give you like a whole year to take the 5 visits. So it ain't like you have to do them in 5 weeks. You could take them when you need it. So I would challenge everybody to use those 5 free visits. Just talk to somebody. If it ain't for you, it's not for you. But most people charge you like $150, $200 to go and talk to a therapist. And everybody ain't got $200 for something that might not work out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But with that program, man, take advantage of going talk to somebody. It might make things a little easier for you.
Man, well said, brother. Seriously, man, I'm clapping, man, because that's good, brother. That's really good. Now, so you know, here's my chance to actually, I guess, spill some stuff, but not too deep.
Yeah, you don't have to spill nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? Like the big
no,
you know
so the thing about it is, man, like so man, one of the things that always used to hit me was I've been through trauma before, and it's trauma that I didn't know at the time. That's why I think even in our last conversation, I was telling you about how, you know, so I'm on this kick about how you can not hold back your emotions, but how to manage your feelings.
Yeah.
And the only reason I came to this conclusion was one of my first counseling sessions. I told him about a couple of, because I felt like I've had a couple of different traumatic experiences in my life, period. On top of that, my father just passed away last year, or this year, excuse me. So that was traumatic, watching my dad pass away in front of me. You know what I mean? Like just watching him degrade, like continuously down, and you don't know how to react to that. Like it's one thing to get a phone call and say, hey man, you know, your mama died in an accident. You know what I mean? Like that's one thing. But I feel like it's another thing when you watch them lose, you know what I'm saying? They're lose their consciousness mind.
And like day by day. Because if I felt like it was like it was like 3 like 3 or 4 weeks for your pops, right?
Yeah. And so you know it's coming, but you just watching this person just
get worse.
Just literally like poof. And so that really just left a mark. On top of that, though, when I talked to my therapist at the time, he asked me, you know, how have you dealt with trauma before? And I was like, I don't really know for sure. I know I have different mechanisms that I used to do, or that I had. And then he asked me about what are the trauma I've had in life, and I told him about when I first got my kids. That was traumatic to me.
Yeah,
because I was 15 years old.
Yeah,
you know, everybody in our class kind of knows the story, sort of say. But, you know what I'm saying? Here I am, a junior in high school, and I get a phone call saying, hey, you got twins.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember.
And then, and literally like 2 weeks after I get the phone call, I get another phone call saying, hey, we don't know where the mama went. She left. So I'm literally rushing to pick up some kids, and I don't know what the hell to do. I don't know how to change diapers. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
Here I am, 15 years old with twins, and just my whole world's changed. You know what I'm saying? Like everything changed, and I didn't know how to react to any of that stuff. I wasn't even a man. I was just still wet behind the ears. Even though we don't think we are, we think we're grown when we in juniors in high school, but we're not.
No, so, not at all.
You know, I feel like a lot of the stuff that I did in reaction to it put a stigma on my life. You know what I mean? Like it did. And I own up to it, because trauma make you do some stupid stuff. I put it that way. But yeah, man, but people don't realize exactly what, you know what I'm saying? So when I see people like Will Smith act out, And I feel like, yeah, that's a traumatic, something's going on. You know what I'm saying? Something traumatic is happening and he's reacting to that trauma.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I know personally in my life, I've reacted to trauma certain types of ways, and they weren't very healthy.
Yeah.
So now I'm to that point where I'm trying to learn how to react if something, you know what I'm saying? Like there's different ways of reacting to trauma and then learning what it is. Because like I said before, man, in the last session, man, when you have heartbreak or depression or something traumatic happens, they talk about these cats who went to war, Vietnam,
Yep.
you know, uncles that we have who went to war.
Shoot, not even uncles. You got, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I know people like our age or younger than us who went to like Iraq and struggle with it. Yeah.
That's traumatic, man. Seeing dead bodies laying everywhere is not normal.
Or leaving,
you know what I'm saying?
Going somewhere with people and not coming back with them.
Yeah.
Repeatedly.
Yes.
Like, bro.
Yes.
Or driving somewhere not knowing like if this, bro, I've heard stories where people were driving and seen the car in front of them, like the Humvee in front of them blow up with their homeboys on it that they were talking to. Like, bro, like, but I think too, and not to steal from you, I'm sorry, but I think also like, bro, if you think about the things that we did when we were 15 and 16, Rose rooms, chicken shacks, like, bro, nobody's supposed to see their homeboy get shot 7 times at the chicken shack. The chicken shack. You're not supposed to see that.
And I was, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was going to bring it back to that too, man. Like trauma and I think the whole reason we started this was why is there a stigma on counseling therapy for Black men? Because I feel like we have it the worst.
Yeah.
Number one, I feel like the Black man is so misunderstood, period, in this country. And you know, I try to actually talk to people that I work with about it, but it's like talking to a wall sometimes. Like when we walk into everything in life, everything from work to home, family, to how the world sees us, everything is stacked. And it's like this big pressure pot on top of the Black man. And it's impossible to really tell people about it. And because, you know what I'm saying, they're not really going to get that piece of it. But, and I try to put it this way. I was like, man, when you walk into the interview room and you're about to get an interview for a job, the only thing going through your mind is probably, okay, this is what the person needs to hear from me in order to get this job. One of the things that we always, and I know me personally, any interview I've ever had, I've always thought in the back of my mind, they're looking at me as a Black man. That's the first thing it's the first thing. So I have to be extra, 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 extra. And we found that out with Barack Obama in office. This man was like the most extra perfect
and he still family was a man. And he still was a monkey. Like at the end of the day, that's what y'all gonna call us. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
And they ended up voting Donald Trump in office. I mean, bro, you can't tell me the stigma that we've always had to deal with. I know my mama told me, I know your mama told you when we was growing up, you got to be 3-4 times better. Just to, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, but so that's like one of the things too, like that was, you know what I'm saying, in therapy that we talked about, and it's crazy because this therapy and this diversity and inclusion, but one of the things that we talked about was like, the shifts. Like I used to always be like, I'll just take the bad shift. I'll take the bad shift. Like, you know what I'm saying? I worked at a company. I'm not going to say the company's name. You might see it in the picture. You might not. But I worked at a company, right? So, man, I worked there for like 13, 14 years, right? Yeah. If we have 40 supervisors, I am consistently top 5 for like 12, 11 years. But I always feel like I have to do more. I always have to I have to, like, soon as we get a new HR lady, I have to prove to her that I'm worth being in my position. You know what I'm saying? Or like me in a meeting, I got to sound smart for people to be like, well, he just say, you know what I'm saying? They needed a Black person to fill this thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you always feel like you have to be on top of everything. I have to be knowledgeable. And then I think one of the hardest things for me is when you're in a place and you know the diversity and the inclusion ain't right. And you feel like I have to step up and say something, because at the end of the day, I mean, there are so many times I've called my dad and been like, man, this is going on. He's like, bro, you gotta tell him, you know what I'm saying? You gotta tell him this, or Pick and choose your battles. That might not be the battle for you. No, that's the battle that you jump into. You know what I'm saying? One of my homeboys was like, man, he when all the stuff was happening with the race stuff in the summer and all the pandemic and all that stuff, he hit me, one of my dudes, and it was a black dude. He called me, he was like, he said, I want to apologize to you, man, for always, you know what I'm saying, never supporting you like I should have supported you. He was like, man, you always was there for us black, you know what I'm saying, our black, like the black supervisors. You was always like, nah, we ain't doing this or we doing that. And he said, I used to think to myself, why does Zeke gotta be so black all the time? You know what I'm saying? But he said, he was like, and then after I seen everything, he said, I understand why you black like that all the time. And that's but people don't understand, like, bro, it's such a struggle for when you go somewhere and they tell you that you'll never get a supervisor job here with your dreadlocks. Well, first of all, I don't have dreadlocks, I have braids. That's a whole different hairstyle. But to white people, and I'm not gonna say all white people, but to those white people, especially the white people in charge, they see a young black dude, braids, dreads, they immediately think a certain thing, you know what I'm saying? And you have to fight that continuously year after year. And when do you get tired of that? And how does that affect you? You know
what's crazy? And I don't mind talking about this because I mean, I just don't mind talking about it. Now everybody knows who I work for. Well, one of the other core techs that was, core tech with me, or I wouldn't say my group, but I used to work with him anyway. I'm the last one left. There's no more. He ended up transferring out. But we have a diversity issue. It's a good old boy system.
Yeah,
where I work at.
That's where it was. The same thing here.
And you know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be that way for a long time unless something changes. And every time I brought it up, I can tell you this much, that the couple of black men who did work there before, one black dude worked there for like 40 some odd years. He would never say anything.
Yeah.
It's like the old guard. You know what I mean? Like, don't rock the boat. Don't rock the boat.
What?
And I feel like I have to rock the boat because if I don't, nobody's going to know. Like, nobody's going to know that this, bro, I can tell you right now, a lot of people wouldn't even know my position is available and how much money we make because it's nothing but good old boy.
Yep. You gotta know somebody and they promote who they want to promote.
No. And on top of that, like to move into management, it's a good old boy network. And unless it gets shown in the light, I don't think it will ever change. And so I'm at that point now where I'm like, okay, I gotta say something, but I feel it. Like you don't want to say something because you're in a room with you're the only one here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you're the only person here. So and I know the excuses that a lot of people give for it. A lot of people will say, well, we just base it on talent, or we just base it on this, we just base it on that. No.
I don't see race. I don't see color.
We don't see race. We don't see color. Yeah, come on, man, stop. So it's rough, man. It's rough because I know if I do talk about it a lot, you're gonna get that stigma.
You'll get ostracized.
You that black person.
Yep. You're the black person. Like, you always bringing out the race card. All he talks about is race. Yeah, man. So, but one of the things I was so like at Dish, when I worked at Dish, you know what I'm saying? Like, so one of the vice presidents, I think it's the vice president, he was a regional director and he became, I think he might be a vice president, he might still be a regional director, but it was a black dude that was a regional director. And then so it would be the weirdest thing, you know what I'm saying? Because the black dude never talked about, and he wasn't like, and I don't want to sound terrible, but he's from Jamaica, you know what I'm saying? And maybe he didn't black being black, you know what I'm saying, he was just like, shoot, I'm Jamaican, you know what I'm saying? But he never really talked about the black experience. He never really was like, hey, as a black person trying to make it on here, you know what I'm saying? Like, you think somebody pull you to the side is like him seeing like, hey, I want to be in your position. Like, he never had no conversations with me about like, hey, you know what I'm saying, this is what they're gonna look for, or these are the things that you should probably be good at if you want to, you know what I'm saying? He never had those conversations with me. And I'm not saying that he had to, because he's, you know what I'm saying, he was all right cat, but he never brought up race. And I think that's the thing, that what happens is you get into these companies and the white people are going to get the black person, and then they'll put that black person in that high position to the left, and they be like, well, we can't be racist